Performance rights organizations are often referred to as PROs. And what they do is they collect royalty money for when your songs are performed. Basically, that means on the radio, on television, in concert halls or nightclubs, jukeboxes, even health clubs. If your song is being used in one of those mediums, you'll get paid for that by a performance rights organization. There are 3 of them: ASCAP, BMI, and CSAC. ASCAP stands for American Society of Composers, Authors, and Publishers. BMI stands for Broadcast Music Incorporated. And CSAC used to stand for Society of European Stage Authors and Composers, but according to their website, it's just called CSAC now, and it's not an acronym for anything because they have a large presence outside of Europe and outside of stage authors and composers. As a writer, you join one of them. You can't join all 3. You can only join one. And you license your catalog to them for the purpose of collecting your airplay royalties. They each have a slightly different way of computing them, of tracking how often your songs show up. Mostly they're tracking radio and TV, but they also track nightclubs, health clubs, jukeboxes, places like that. I'm not going to go in depth into how they all do it, but they all do a good job of it. They have slightly different ways of doing it, and they're all in the digital world now, so they can get pretty accurate. You get points according to how often you show up in their surveys and how big the market is. If it's being played on a college station at 3 a.m., it's not going to get as many points as if your song is being played in drive time at LA. And then 4 times a year, every 3 months, they compute all the points you've accrued and figure out a dollar amount for that, and you get paid according to how many points you have. What they do for you in addition to collecting your money is they have member representatives. They'll have a department called Writer-Publisher Relations, and there are people in that department whose job it is to help songwriters. So if you have a cut, if you have a song that's getting airplay, you definitely need to join one of them, and you definitely need to register your song with them. They're not going to automatically know. You have to register the song. But even if you've never had a cut, it can be to your advantage to join a PRO, or at least to go talk to the PROs. Let's say you come to an industry center like Nashville. You can get an appointment at any of them. And in fact, if you're not a member of any of them, I would recommend going to see all of them if you can, because the most important thing is to find one of the member representatives who believes in you and wants to help you. I went to BMI when I was new in town. I played for somebody over there who gave me some pretty good feedback on my songs, but seemed very uninterested. Then I went over to ASCAP. I played for a guy named Bob Doyle. We were from the same hometown. He spent a couple hours with me. The next time I saw him, he pulled out a contract, so I signed it, and I've been with them ever since. And I found people over there that are willing to help me out. What they can do to help you out is call publishers if they think you're ready. Maybe hook you up with co-writers if they've met another writer that they think you'd be compatible with. And if you're not ready for that, they'll give you some good feedback that will help you get ready for that. So how do you get one of those appointments? Well, for ASCAP, every Wednesday morning at 10 o'clock, they have something called Straight Talk. And before you ask to make an appointment with one of their member reps, they ask that you attend Straight Talk. You call ahead to sign up for it, but anyone can go. And at that, they'll give a little talk explaining how ASCAP works. And once you've gotten that basic information, they want to get that out of the way so that the member reps aren't spending the time that they have to meet with you going over the basics like that. So just call the main office if you get to Nashville and sign up for Straight Talk on a Wednesday morning. At BMI, they have walk-in hours. So if you're new in town, you should be able just to walk in and get an appointment if you come during the right hours. What are those hours? Well, on Monday, it's between 2 and 4 in the afternoon. On Wednesdays, it's between 9:30 and 11 in the morning. And on Tuesdays and Thursdays, it's in the morning 9:30 to 11 and also in the afternoon 2 to 4. However, it's always a good idea to call ahead and make sure that there will be somebody there at those times, because they get busy and their schedules change. And for CSAC, just call the main number and ask for the Writer-Publisher Relations Department, and you'll be directed to someone that can help you set up an appointment. And as of November 2011, Katie May told me she's a good person to ask for. So call CSAC and ask for Katie May. Now, please understand that everyone in the music business is very busy, and don't expect to call on one day and get an appointment the next. Call as far ahead as you can, and if they don't get back to you, try again. Don't take it personally. They just get really busy. So be persistent and you can get in to see all of them. And when you find one of those reps that's really into you or really believes in you, or who maybe just gives you some really good advice, join that PRO. Once you've joined one, you should only visit their member reps. But if you're thinking about changing, it's fine to switch to the others.